Good evening. It's 6 o'clock on Wednesday, the 12th of July, 2017. Welcome and thank you for joining us tonight for the English edition of Aura News, bringing you the day's national top stories translated into English 6 days a week. Prime Minister Rama has commented on the Trieste summit in an article published on the international daily newspaper, The Wall Street Journal. The Prime Minister sees the summit as a good opportunity to heal the wounds of the past and to ensure economic growth. Only economic growth can stabilise the region. It will be an opportunity not only to discuss pathways towards integration into the European Union, but also to heal the wounds of the past, to unite us behind an idea and to create a new platform for economic growth. We will ask for support for the creation of a regional economic area. This is about stability. We can't have that without a growing economy, said the Prime Minister. Mr. Rama also emphasised that the citizens entrusted him in a full mandate in order to build the state and expressed his belief that the opening of negotiations can happen this year if the objectives are met. After governing for 4 years with a small partner, my party held a campaign to get a full mandate in order to clean up house. We were entrusted with a rare parliamentary majority. Albanians supported our plan for state building and for institutional reform, the plans that will depoliticise the government and assess the ordinary people. A decision to open negotiations this year is possible, but only if we have fulfilled our determination to reform the courts, the justice system and strengthen the rule of law, added the Prime Minister. Mr. Rama concludes that the Balkan region can progress forward if it focuses its resources in the right places. Foreign Minister Bushati has spoken of the importance of the summit of Trieste, discussing 2 projects in particular that will be realised. It will concretise 2 initiatives. Initially, the Transport Treaty, which will come after the Energy Treaty and some other initiatives taken by the Western Balkan countries and the European Union. Likewise, the effort to create a regional economic area is an attempt to further boost trade cooperation and in the economic field between the Western Balkan countries and to work together on the economic challenges arising from the process of EU membership, declared the Foreign Minister. Minister Bushati stressed that it is not a time to comment on the importance of the Berlin process, but to implement the projects agreed upon, which will positively change the economy. Today is not just a moment to consider the Berlin process and its effectiveness, but to work together with the European Union institutions to implement those projects that we have agreed to on paper. This will bring about a positive change and an even more tangible economic and political perspective for our citizens, declared Minister Bushati. He added that the EU is part of this process and supports the Berlin process, but that greater financial support is needed. Candidate for Democratic Party Chairman Basha held meetings today in Gjirokasta, Tepelena, Memaliai and Permet, where he declared that the majority is a result of a deformation to the citizens' will. According to Basha, votes in the June 25 elections were bought in a scheme that was planned long ago. We all saw that Rama cannot hold free and fair elections. Elections cannot be free when crime and drugs are involved. Only the Democratic Party has the morals to confront them and lead this battle, declared Basha. Mr. Basha stated that the Democratic Party is the only party that preserved its morals and did not engage in the vote-buying phenomenon. Candidate Basha considers the 450,000 people who voted for the Democratic Party to be an inspiration to move forward. Just like in 1991, the Democratic Party is the only party that preserved its morals. Over 450,000 Albanians followed our path, refusing vote buying, refusing pressures coming from crime and the state. These people are a big inspiration to me, declared Basha, adding that the only path to recovery is the union of all Democrats. Ten days out from the voting for DP chairman, candidate Edward Salami has asked Basha to make the list of DP members public and to keep the promise for holding public debates. Candidate Salami has continued his tour with meetings in Gjirokasta, Tepelena, where he declared that Basha should distance himself from the agreement reached with Prime Minister Rama. According to Mr. Salami, the agreement is the reason why the Democratic Party lost the June 25 elections. Members of the Democratic Party are proud of being Democrats, and they are not afraid to hide that they are members of this party. For this reason, Mr. Basha must publicise the list of members, announced Salami, adding that there is no reason to keep the list secret as they are not an illegal party. Candidate Salami urged Mr. Basha to make the process transparent before reconfirming his position that the race for DP chairman is unequal, though he is still confident that he can win, stating, "I want the Democratic Party to return to its democratic and Western values. We will win this race together and we will come out stronger from this race." Mr. Salami clearly expressed his position against any possible coalition with the Socialist Party and called on Basha to immediately withdraw the provisional ministers. "I do not understand why our ministers continue to stay in government. We should immediately distance ourselves from the agreement, as it was one of the causes for our loss in elections. Mr. Basha, withdraw the provisional ministers from the government. Admit that we will not enter into a governing coalition with the Socialist Party. The Democrats do not want a coalition with the Socialist Party. This is my stance. You can vote against me, this is your right, but I will not change my stance. If we want to come to power, we should start being the opposition right away. This is what the Albanian people voted for us to be. If we continue to align with the Socialist Movement for Integration, Socialist Party, or any other party, we will only further deepen our loss," said Salami. He went on to add that the Democratic Party has misused the belief of Albanians offered in 1992, giving up on the ambition to transform Albania into a history of success. Mr. Salami expressed his conviction that the Democratic Party members will elect the right person who will return the Democratic Party to the path of success and follow the best democratic models. The Central Election Commission unanimously decided to recount votes in 72 voting centres in Tirana, accepting the requests from the Party for Justice, Integrity and Unity and from the Socialist Party. Respectively, the Socialist Party requested the recount of votes in 23 voting centres and the Party for Justice, Integrity and Unity requested the recount of votes in 49 voting centres. Present at the meeting, the chairman for the Party for Justice, Integrity and Unity, Shpatim Idrizi, made accusations of vote alterations. "The cases we have presented show that the people's will has been deformed," declared Mr. Idrizi. Meanwhile, the Socialist Party's representative, Saliani, presented proof of irregularities during the counting of votes in 23 voting centres. The Central Election Commission determined that the recounting of votes will start tomorrow at 10 o'clock at their office. The result is particularly important for the Party of Justice, Integrity and Unity, as it will determine if they have, in fact, managed to take a seat in Parliament as they claim. The chairman of the party, Shpatim Idrizi, needs only 37 votes to become a member of the new Albanian Parliament. Nine fires are reported to have erupted across the country in the last 24 hours, specifically in Gjirokasta, Vlorë, Fier and Dibër. The Civil Emergency Service has advised that 40 firefighting teams, 40 military forces and helicopters are engaged in operations to extinguish the flames. Specialists from the Civil Emergency Service are continuously monitoring the situation around the country as the risk from fires is still high due to current temperatures. The Directory of the Civil Emergency Service has asked for intervention from the Viva helicopter company in order to extinguish the fires, especially in the areas of Dibra and Konispol. The helicopters are required to aid the firefighting teams, state police forces and City Hall's forces in order to combat the fire, reads the request from the Civil Emergency Service to the helicopter company. Viva responded positively by sending a helicopter which extinguished the flames. After finishing this operation, Viva responded to another call for helicopters, this time in the south at the Konispol area. The teams have worked under the intensely difficult conditions and managed to extinguish the flames despite the challenges presented from the wind. The General Directory of the Civil Emergency Service reiterates their call to citizens to immediately contact emergency services if they see any signs of fire. That's all for our English edition this evening. Please join me again Monday through Saturday at 6 p.m. for your local news in English. My name is Alexandra, and on behalf of Aura News, thank you and good night.